Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to the exciting day that we've all been waiting decades, maybe centuries for. I'm of course kidding, but I am talking about Beta 0.10 of Kaiserreich, the mod for Hearts of Iron 4, Blood on the Yangtze, in which the China update, the China rework has finally happened. The work of Flame Fang and everybody else on his team is complete, and we're all extremely excited for it. So before we get started, there's going to be a lot that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to get 2 episodes of this out today, because I'm sure the first episode is going to be a lot of talking. We're not going to be moving forward very much. So at least for today, I'll try to get 2 episodes up, so that some more action can be happening. There have been so many changes in this. There's been an Italian update. There's been a naval rework. There are changes to industrial technology values, the volunteer system, political ministers, and things like that. I'm not going to go over every single change because we'd be here all day. I'll try to remember to link below the full list of all the changes. But the main thing is that we've got added focus trees. Actually, let me just jump in here. Okay, so I am going to be playing first as the Yunnan Clique. I believe that I've talked about this before because I do want to play the Yunnan Clique at least 2 times. I find them very interesting. So let's just jump in right now. No custom game rules. We're just hopping right in, and we're gonna get to it. But we're just gonna go to the map so that I can start talking about the focus trees and what's new. That's the main thing that I want to list off. Right, yeah, fighting a land war in Asia. Oh, we're going to be doing a lot of that. I've been extremely excited for this expansion. I said even before the rework that, yes, thank you very much to the entire Kaiserreich team. I've said that even before this rework that the Fengtian government was one of the best nations to play in the game, and it wasn't even complete. Now it is. This definitely is on my to-play list. Absolutely 100% for sure it's going to happen. But we're going to be playing Yunnan first because, like I said, we have a couple of options. So, what are the new focus trees? We have got, and not all of them are actually visible at this moment, but we have the Anqing Clique. There is Bhutan. We've got... Wait, where is it? Sorry, excuse me. There's going to be an East Turkestan. There is Guangdong. There is the Guangxi Clique. There is the Kamul Khanate out here, over here. There's the League of 8 Provinces, of course, under Sun Chuangfang. Go watch some of my progress reports where I talk about some of this stuff. Although admittedly some of the stuff is outdated because they reworked the rework. There's the Left Kuomintang. There's the Ma Clique. Manchuria as a puppet. The Shan Confederation, or here's the Ma Clique, of course. The Shandong Clique, the Jiangxi Clique over here, the Sichuan Clique, the state of Tachin, Tibet. So like you see here, this is what I'm talking about. They all have the new things. There's the Xinjiang Clique, and of course the Yunnan Clique, who we are going to be playing first. As you see, it's pretty sizable. There's going to be plenty here to keep us busy. However, some of you may not be aware of this. There have been significant changes done in Kaiserreich now, even outside of the Chinese area. So, for example, we have got reworked or expanded focus trees for Austria, for Brazil, Chile, the Combined Syndicates of America, Emilia. Technically, the Fengtian government is not new because they have already had a focus tree, and so it's just been reworked and expanded. German East Asia has also changed, as has Japan. Japan's, if we look here, I think they have let's see, Rising Sun. Yeah, they've got stuff here with some Chinese interactions and also some new colonizations, which I believe were not here before, such as Hawaii and Kwantung. Who else? Qing is technically here. Qing is technically not a new focus tree because they did have a custom focus tree, but it was extremely small. Now it is very big, and this is going to be the main 2 heavyweights to watch in every game of Kaiserreich in the China region from now on. Is going to be the Qing and the Fengtian. They're going to be fighting for supremacy over China, but there are plenty of other options for creating either regional powers or unifying China as a whole. And I do want to emphasize that unifying China obviously is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm certainly going to do that. I'm going to do that more than once over the next, however long it takes for me to play everybody that I want to play. Going to be a lot of China in 2020 is all I'm saying. But These are, as far as the AI goes, it should be set up that Feng Tian or Qing are going to be the ones that end up attempting for the unification. Most of the time, they're going to be the ones who are successful most of the time. All right, moving on, we've also got changes that have been done to Italy, the Republic of Italy, the Socialist Republic of Italy, the two Sicilies, and Venice. There also is supposed to now be a path for peaceful unification as long as the Socialist Republic of Italy does not exist anymore. Transimer has been shifted. I remember where it is. Yeah, so it's, I think that they've set some things up for when there's not going to be exactly a tag switch like there was before, but it's similar but different. What else is different? The Union of Britain is different. The United States of America is different. Switzerland has been reworked or expanded. And I think that's everybody. There's events for just about everybody that I listed, including the West Indies Federation, Mongolia. Did I show the... yeah, so we have the different Mongolias here. Lots of new decisions, custom paths for things like Bolivia, Chile, Colombia. A lot of custom paths have been added here in South America. But that's enough. That's enough. I'm not going to go over every single other thing. We've already passed the 6-minute mark. It's time to actually get playing. So, this is the Yunnan Clique currently under Tang Jianyao. A loyal follower of General Kal Yi, Tang began his political career in 1911 when Kal Yi ordered him to take part in the Wuchan Uprising beginning in the Jinhai Revolution. After the success of the revolution, he became governor of Guizhou and would later return to his home province of Yunnan in 1913 to replace Kai Yi. When Yuan Shikai announced his ambition to become an emperor, Tang immediately succeeded with the support of the likes of Kai Yi and Li Liejun, who would spearhead the National Protection War alongside Tang. With their victory, Tang, not to be confused with the original Tang dynasty, same name though. With their victory in the National Protection War, Yunnan became one of the main hegemons of the continent. Since then, Yunnan's glory days have long since faded away. Tang has led one failed expedition after another, with his failure in defeating Sichuan to the north, causing him to almost be deposed by Gu Fizhen in a coup d'etat in 1921. However, the failure of the northern expedition was the KMT's earlier attempt in the 20s to unify China. It failed, of course. The KMT is not on the board at this moment. It will be later. Became a blessing for Tang's control over Yunnan, with the threat of the Zili clique and their German patrons looming in the distance. The presence of the surviving NRA members, as well as Tang's own forces, have largely deterred them from taking action against a seemingly hostile Republican province. However, Tang's flamboyant and overambitious character have largely alienated many of the officers residing in Yunnan, and his control over the province is much weaker than it seems from the outside. Okay, we're going to turn this down just a tiny bit. I do like the music, but it's just coming in a little bit loud. So I'm not going to say which path I'm taking. We're just going to let it play out. I know that you guys love for me to do it, but I'm not going to go into a ton of detail regarding a lot of these interpersonal relationships between the leaders of the various cliques and the generals and things like that, because at least for today, I'm just trying to get something up. And in the future campaigns, we're going to slow things down, and we're going to go into, okay, how did the Qing fall? What was the power vacuum? Can we go into details on Sun Yat-sen, on the KMT, on the various branches within the KMT? I'm going to do all of that. For today, I'm just trying to get something up so that people can check it out and decide what they want to do. Okay, looks like our only option for right now is being the master of the East Continent. Another reason why, by the way, I wanted to pick the Yunnan Clique is back in 2018, one of my favorite campaigns that I did in Hearts of Iron 4 Vanilla, actually just period on my channel for all of 2018, it was in my top 10, was playing as the Yunnan Clique and as a warlord and unifying China in my campaign that way. So by playing the Yunnan Clique in Kaiserreich, I can get a more direct comparison over as to which one I enjoy more, and I will discuss that at the end of the campaign. Alright, so Master of the Eastern Continent. As another year begins, another year of humiliation starts for the Chinese Republicans, as the Zhili-dominated status quo remains with the despicable emperor in charge. However, cracks seem to start appearing in the imperialist beast. Tang Jiyao, self-proclaimed master of the Eastern Continent, plans to bring Yunnan back to its full glory. Alright, so the Zhili clique is the ones who are actually in charge here of the Qing Empire. Yes, you've got Puyi here, but that's not reality. Okay, we got 3 to start. We're going to get new infantry equipment right away. We're also going to come over here, get the basic machine tools, and electronic engineering. Okay, free civilian factories. Gosh, we really just don't have anything going there. I guess I'll start building a military factory, but it doesn't mean much. We've got a pretty well-trained army. This was where a lot of the best of the Chinese Republic's military forces came from. It's also the home of a lot of KMT exiles, KMT refugees, maybe, for lack of a better word. So we have a pretty... And plus the academy is here as well, so we have a very decently trained army, as we should. Fortunately, we have a substance abuser leader here. Whatever that means. Alright, Long Yun, of course, will be our general. He's the one who leads the Yunnan Clique in the vanilla part of the game. Let's see here. Let's go. By the way, I love this shade of kind of a darker red. It's not... I don't know what you call this, maybe maroon. I'd say this is maroon. This looks very similar to my university's colors, so I like that. So we're gonna come over here, switch those out. We could already give him something different here, but well, not really. So for now, we're gonna say that we are posting ourselves on the... Oh yeah, here, watch this. You see, technically, we all are a part of the Qing Empire. If you look over here, we are a member of that faction. We have the various alignment charts here, which are very cool, of the Chinese factions. So we are over here. We are Federalist aligned. We're the only federally aligned group here. So that is why we are actually able to surround the Sichuan clique technically. Let's just, for the sake of simplicity, though, switch this over like so. Okay. Oh, and also something you have to always do whenever you start a new game in Kaiserreich or in any Hearts of Iron 4 thing. Let's go over the national spirits. We have the rule of Tang Jiao, which increases our daily political power gain by 0.05. Stability is down and war support by 15%. Tang Jiao has governed the province of Yunnan since Kai Yi's removal by Yuan Shikai in 1913. Hold on a sec, excuse me. All right. Yuan Shikai in 1913, but he has nevertheless supported many Republican expeditions throughout the continent for the last 2 decades. These expeditions have come at a price which Tang has been happy to pay with an expansion of the opium trade and high taxes for the peasantry. This has triggered a slow but steady growth in civil unrest in the province at the same time as once loyal generals and newfound rivals now team up to scheme against Tang, preparing for the perfect time to strike. Nevertheless, with his sights set on expanding Yunnan's borders... wait a second. Yeah, expanding Yunnan's borders and with a weakening grip of the German government over Chinese affairs, Tang may hold greater ambitions for the mountainous province. We also have the export economy, which is a lot of negative stuff. Factory output, production efficiency cap, division recovery rate, resource gain efficiency, and daily political power gain. The province of Yunnan is home to vast amounts of resources, both agricultural and... both agricultural and mineral, which has made our province a key exporter through both Burma and Indochina. However, the province is subject to a monopoly in transportation by German railways through both the League of Eight Provinces Railways and the Kunming-Haiphong Railway in northern Vietnam. With little reason to change our dependence from Germany, we currently exchange many of our goods like opium and tin in exchange for German products and licenses. We have an oversized army, so even though our army is good in the sense that some of them are seasoned, our division training time is up, consumer good factories is up, our factory output and planning speed is down, as is our max planning. And then finally, there is German economic control over Gweiju's tin, civilian industry to target country plus 60%. Yunnan's tin province, focused mainly on the town of Gweiju, is one of the highest in all of China. And yes, you can look that up. It is, I believe, I'm trying to remember if I think it's like 40% of the aluminum in China comes from there. Now the Germans being particularly interested in keeping the Kunming-Haiphong Railway alive and active, while tin trade is increasingly profitable, there are major issues with our tin production which greatly reduce the income we receive from it. These revolve around a lack of purity in our tin, which we are unable to fix with our current equipment, which in turn forces us to sell it to the Germans at outrageously low prices. This cheap tin is then taken to the AOG, where it is resmelted to improve its purity and then resold in the international market at a higher price. If we ever hope to take these profits back from the German monopolies, significant reform will have to be undertaken, and our economy may not be ready for such an endeavor. Okay, That's everything. Let's get moving. So, Yuan Shikai, who got referenced, never mind. Oh, it looks like this is the history of the area. Okay, that saves me time. The decision to found Yunnan Military Academy in 1909 gave birth to the Yunnan Clique. Since the 1911 Xinhai Revolution, the province of Yunnan has been known for its elite army and loyalty to Chinese republicanism. And in 1915, Yunnan alone declared the National Protection War against Yuan Shikai. So let me talk about who that is, his so-called empire. So Yuan Shikai was a guy who was born in the 1800s, of course. So he was a part of the Qing dynasty as a member of its military, and after the emperor abdicated in 1912, he ends up becoming the first president of the Republic of China, the one that was founded in 1912. This only lasted for about 3 months, and so, but the point is that he began to establish control over Greater China. The thing was, though, he eventually, how do I say this? He eventually becomes emperor in quotation marks. He was on the money on the Chinese yuan, if you look for ones that are in 1914. And he tried to revive a hereditary monarchy. So he called himself the Hongxian emperor. But of course, this was amidst a revolution that was trying to democratize, or whatever you want to call it, certainly reform China. It's this power vacuum that's happening after the abdication of the emperor, and so a lot of people were opposed to him. And then historically, Kai Yi, who we've been talking about, is the one who starts the National Protection War, and this creates a cascade of provinces that were rebelling against the emperor, this Emperor Yuan Shikai. And so they're fighting against him, and he doesn't really have any tangible support, so he ends up abdicating, even though he'd only been emperor for less than 3 months. Also, he was getting very, very sick, and so he died shortly after resigning, just a couple of months later, and he ended up getting buried up here in Manchuria. Although his, I don't think his body was still there. I'm pretty sure that the tomb was looted at some point during the warlord era. So yeah, I don't think anybody knows where his body is. So he's pretty much universally. I should probably pull up a picture of this guy. Hold on a second. Let me find a picture of him. Yuan Shikai. Here I was saying, oh, I'm not going to go into detail about all these people, and yet here I am. So, this is a great picture. Very, very high resolution. Come on, you. This is what he looks like. This is what I'm talking about. And pretty horribly, I think I would almost say he's almost universally despised. He's despised by people who like the Qing, people who are Federalists, Republicans, KMT, everything, nationalists. Because he said, yeah, and look, the most you could say is he was then attempting to modernize modernize China, but sort of everybody was wanting to modernize China. So or if not everybody, at least quite enough people that's not enough to get people on his side. Anyway, where were we? Yunnan alone declared the National Protection War against Yuan Shikai and toppled his empire. The victorious Yunnan then pursued an expansionist policy, exerting control over its neighbors. The ephemeral Yunnan hegemony came at a price, however, losing control of many units deployed outside of Yunnan. The military adventure in Sichuan was a failure and caused a major civil conflict within the Yunnan Clique. General Gu Fezhen temporarily ousted Tang Jijiao from power, but Tang, remember this is our guy, regrouped and returned with his loyal army, managing to secure victory and Gu. However, since then, the Yunnan army has no longer been an integral force. Old classmates and brothers in arms rapidly became rivals. During the Northern Expedition, again, this is when the KMT tried Northern Expedition. Whenever you hear Northern Expedition, that means KMT trying to unite China. Yunnan's leading warlord, Tang Jijiao, kept a distance from the Guangzhou KMT government, while the other Yunnan troops in exile, led by Zhu Piedi, rallied behind the banner of National Revolution and became the pillar of Sun Yat-sen's military force. Sun Yat-sen, he's the one with the three. You guys know who Sun Yat-sen is. If you don't, mention it in the comments, I'll explain. When the Northern Expedition tragically ended, the desperate generals of the National Revolutionary Army decided to return to the south back to Yunnan. The attrition was heavy, and many of them ended up at the door of Guizhou, Tang's newly conquered land. So, us out here. Tang wanted to seize the chance and annihilate his old enemies right there, but his generals, led by Long Yun, that's this general down here, Long Yun strong-armed Tang into offering sanctuary to the defeated NRA. The coexistence of former rivals is not easy, but they knew the new leader of China, the Yunnan Clique, and their German patrons will not tolerate an autonomous Yunnan, and they can only survive through cooperation. Despite its formidable battle commanders and elite army, the lack of a unified command authority has cost Yunnan dearly when it audaciously, or I should say would cost Yunnan dearly when it audaciously joined the 4th Zhili Fengtian War. As the and again, go back and watch my videos on the progress reports. As the new year starts for the southern province, Tang Jiyao's authority over the clique is far from assured. His despotism and the blatant favoritism he displays for his incompetent brother Tang Jiyu alienates many high-ranking officers, including Long Yun. The submission to Qing has also undermined his prestige, and he holds nothing but nominal control over the former NRA troops. With the ever-mounting political tension between the officers in Yunnan, Tang's next misstep may prove to be his last. How exciting! So, I think that's good to know, because that was obviously a ton of information there. So, I guess what I'll do in future China rework campaigns is I'm going to get to that opening introductory slide or event, read all that, and then I'll fill in the blanks from there, so that way I'm not repeating myself. So thank you all very much for your patience. But look at that, we managed to get past January 1st. So we have the army reforms here. That we could do via decision that costs, of course, army experience, and it's going to take away daily political power gain. Chinese armies have long struggled to catch up to Western standards. Soldiers are notoriously poor trained and disorderly, often recruited from various stock of bandits, petty criminals, and the chronically destitute. Equipment is regularly patchwork, obsolete, or even downright archaic. Loyalty is typically given to individual officers or a regularly filled rice bowl. And ideological motivation is ephemeral at best. It will take a great deal to rebuild these armies along modern lines. So our right now, our division attack and defense is cut in half. We are going to need a lot of fighting to be done before we're going to be able to do anything. And this is where not having the traditional military staff available to us, or I should say the ability to have a theorist, kind of hurts, because then we can have a continuous growth regarding that. Look at that, the resource company, the Kunming arsenals, the Guozhou Chichu arsenal. A lot of good stuff here, lots of good stuff. So here's the various leaders. We have Sun Chengfu. Wait, what's this? Oh, Black Monday hits Yunnan. With the collapse of the Berlin stock market, Black Monday's ripples have finally traveled around the world and reached our beloved province. While we are benefited that the German imports have their prices greatly reduced thanks to the crisis, our exports are now being taxed excessively for their transport outside of Yunnan. While we can still keep most of our industry afloat, the sudden increase in taxes and transportation costs through the Kunming-Haiphong Railway and the slight reduction of tin acquisition from the international market have still hurt us badly. While we deal with the fallout, anti-German sentiment is on the rise in Yunnan, and many wonder if there is a way for our commerce to become less reliant on their intervention. Maybe this could be a chance to break free. So we no longer have an export economy, we've got a full-blown export depression. What's going on? There we go. So, horrible things, horrible things. The Cyrillians, though, have taken charge in France. Okay, interesting. Do not see that every day. Oh, did Valois' portrait get done up a bit? I like this. It's little things, but it looks much better. Okay, Master of the Eastern Continent. Woo! We got through one focus. Thanks to Yunnan's valiant efforts during the War of National Protection, all of China was saved from a power-hungry tyrant. For our service, Yunnan was granted huge swathes of land in compensation, which made our relatively isolated clique a hegemon in China. However, the German intervention in several wars, skirmishes, and border conflicts afterwards have greatly weakened Yunnan and reduced it. And Tang Jiao knows this. While he had proclaimed that he'd toe the line to keep the fragile peace we have kept with the Qing for nearly a decade in secret meetings, he's begun requesting his generals to start drawing plans. While today there's no chance of breaking the Zhili dominance, we can still prepare for when the time is right to take them down. One can never be too prepared. Political power plus 10. We need to be ready to take action if the opportunity arises. So, next up, we either can seize our chance, which is going to be after August 1st, where we'll have the opportunity to attack Honan, or we can continue our isolation. Now, there is other things that are available to us. We do not have to make our decision right now. This is going to give me, let's see, Legacy of the Northern Expedition is going to give me some quick army experience. Is there anything here that's going to give me a ticking army experience, though? I don't think so. So, let's check out this economy. Let's try to work on this a little bit. Yunnan's topography and geographic location has both blessed and cursed us with several economic particularities. If we wish to bring prosperity back into the province, we should look into utilizing such characteristics to our advantage. And we don't have the army in chaos right now, so I don't know if that means it could happen eventually. So we should just get this done as quickly as possible. What's going on? Where did my field marshal go? Hold on a sec. Better. Much better. Okay. What is our... I hate this. I hate when it's always the same symbol. Okay. Here's what we gotta figure out. What's the best looking division? No. Better. Much better. No. No. Okay, we're gonna have this be our base. Can't seem to change what it looks like, though. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, infantry template 1. Oh, the templates are locked, or at least some of them are. Okay, it looks like they all are. That's unfortunate. Okay. The Afghanistan war is already over. The illusion of Qing hegemony shatters. The facade of Japanese unity, having held together for nearly a decade, has begun to crumble. Rising unrest in the League of Eight Provinces, the economic shock of Black Monday portending German re-entrenchment, and the inability of the national government to deliver a decisive response to either has made one thing clear. Beijing's monopoly on power is broken, and now the future is any man's game. The end of an era. So this is one of those things that's going to be right up there with Kerensky's, as you see, empire is gone. It's going to be right up there with the Kerensky assassination or the American Civil War. This is when you know things are going down. So now we've got the Anhui province breaking out. The Nanjing Clique has broken out. The Shandong Clique has broken out. The left KMT have arrived. Marshal Wu Peifeng backs Nanjing following the death of Marshal Sun Chuanfang. See, he's gone earlier this year. Chuanfang, pardon me. And the subsequent collapse of Qing authority over much of China. Few expected Imperial Minister of the Army Wu Peifu, the real power behind the throne in Beijing, to take overt military action. Yet this morning, he and Assembly President Cao Kun announced their formal support of the provincial government of Nanjing, the remnants of the old League of Eight Provinces. So you see here the Nanjing Clique. German diplomats and strategists are no doubt breathing a sigh of relief as Wu Peifu's military support for the new League Marshal Qi Jingguan, this guy, may be the deciding factor in his war against both the resurgent KMT, this is down here, and the Anhui province aligned with Fengtian and by extension Japan. So the Anhui, they've already become the Anqing up here. So we've it's a madhouse already. The German order may hold, but the Linguang Clique has broken away. The Hunan Clique has broken away. It is insanity, and we're just completely off to the races now. So we already know a little bit though of what's going on here. So the Fengtian have not yet directly inserted themselves in any sort of war, but you know, they got this non-aggression thing going on with Hunan. But I think we're probably just going to read this and then call it a day there. An opportunity presents itself with the collapse of the League of Eight Provinces. Several new army cliques have banded together and performed new provincial entities. Well, we are friendly to some, like Guangxi and Guangdong. There are others that directly contest our sphere of influence, namely Hunan, now that they are still reorganizing, would be the perfect time to strike. However, our high command has opposed this idea, citing the recent economic downturn that Black Monday supposes for Yunnan as the reason why we should wait until we sort out our internal issues before attacking. Despite their protest, Tang has a reputation for opportunism, and there's never been a clearer opportunity for expansion in the recent years. We should choose our next move carefully. We just got some political power. And that's it. Next episode, we will begin figuring out just what are we going to do. We now have the ability to seize the chance, or we can continue our isolation. What is going to be? These both eventually lead to the future after the second Guangdong-Guangxi war is over. War is over if you want to. But I'm very thrilled. I'm super excited for how this is all going to go down. When you're watching this, there's going to be another episode later today. After that, I will continue to do daily episodes. I do intend on playing through this entire Yunnan campaign before I begin. After that, I might do more than one China at the same time. Kaiserreich China campaign at the same time, but I just want to do a single playthrough straight through because there is a difference between the progress reports and what we're going to be seeing, how things play out. So I want to just get a general idea of how these China games are starting to look and see what sorts of crazy things could happen that I'm not aware of. I will see you in another video. Please be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you're always notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel, including the ones for this campaign. I hope you all are having a happy holidays, and have a great day. Bye.